This lesson on academic writing skills is types of paragraphs. We will begin with the introduction, then we move on to the 7 types of paragraphs. Finally, we will have some practices and quizzes to check out learning. Now, let's start from the introduction. We'll learn why it's important to know types of paragraphs. So, why is it important to know types of paragraphs? It can help us in 2 ways. First, when we write, we can make the paragraph easily read and understood by the reader by organizing sentences in logical order based on the purpose of the paragraph. Second, as a reader, we can understand the paragraph efficiently. Now, let's move on to learn the purposes or characteristics of the 7 types of paragraphs. The 7 types of paragraphs include narrative, descriptive, process, compare and contrast, cause and effect, problem analysis and solution, and persuasion paragraph. And we'll be looking at the purposes and characteristics of each type of paragraphs. So let's look at the narrative paragraph first. It's usually used to provide information about an event. So usually, the events are organized in chronological order. Also, it may include the following story elements: the chain of events of the story, the characteristics or people involved, when and where the event occurred, and possibly the theme or moral of the story. Next, a descriptive paragraph is used to describe how something looks like in a physical sense. And the sentences are often organized based on some logical principles according to what we describe. For example, if we want to describe a person, we may describe him or her from head to the feet, or vice versa. And to describe a room, we may describe from left to right, front to back, or from the center outward. To explain how to do something, how something is done, or how something works, a process paragraph can be used. And in a process paragraph, present and future tense are most often used, and it's important to allow readers to follow the sequence of steps easily. So transition words like first, second, third, after that, then, next, and before are usually used. Another type is compare and contrast paragraph. We can use it for the following purposes: to point out the similarities and/or differences between 2 or more things, to show that one thing is superior to another, or to show changes over time. We can organize ideas using 2 methods: point by point or block method. For point by point method, we compare and discuss the items from one point to another. And when we use block method, we write about the comparison or contrast for the items separately. Now let's take a look at the cause and effect paragraph. It's used to analyze the causes or factors or the results or consequences of an event. It could contain only the causes or effects of an event or situation, or it could contain both the causes and effects. Another type is problem analysis and solution paragraph. So in the paragraph, a problem is identified and solutions are offered. Finally, a persuasion paragraph can be used to persuade others of the writer's point of view or to convince others to do something. So, we can use facts and figures, emotional appeal, and intellectual argument to sway the reader's opinion. We've learned the purposes or characteristics of the 7 types of the paragraphs. Now, let's practice to check out how much we have learned. Please match the topic sentences with the appropriate paragraph types. Here are the answers, and the red words in the sentences may also help us tell the possible paragraph types. Now, let's move on to the quiz to check out learning. Please choose the appropriate answer. Okay, so compare and contrast paragraph help us present the similarities and/or differences between things. Next, please also choose the appropriate answer. As what we've learned, process paragraph can be used to describe how to do something, how something is done, or how something works. Finally, please choose the appropriate answer. So, to convince others to do something, persuasion paragraph can be used. Now, let's quickly review what we have learned. As what we've learned, here are the purposes of the narrative, descriptive, process, and the compare and contrast paragraph. While a narrative paragraph provides information about an event, a descriptive paragraph describes how something looks like in a physical sense. A process paragraph explains how to do something or how something works, while a compare and contrast paragraph points out the similarities and/or differences between things. A cause and effect paragraph analyzes the causes for results, while a problem analysis and solution paragraph identifies a problem and explains solutions. Finally, a persuasion paragraph convinces others to do something. So, when we write, make sure what our purpose is and choose the appropriate types of paragraphs to help our readers understand more efficiently. Thank you for joining the lesson. The lesson is funded by the Ministry of Education.